Okay, hello. In this video I'm going to show you how to create an application program like this. It's a very simple one where I have this math operations. It's asking me to enter a number. I'm going to enter a number and I'm going to enter the second number and I'm going to add. It gives me the answer here. Next I clear all the values and I'm going to say 35 and I want to multiply 2 and I get this answer here. I clear it and I exit the button. So this is exactly what we are going to create today in Java Swing. Okay, so to do that, first thing is to go to your source package under your project. So my third application is my project name, and under the source package, when you click on this, you can right click and say you want a new JFrame font. So it's not Java class, you are going to create a JFrame font. So it's asking me to give a name to it, so I'm going to say math and call it arithmetic. No space should be used. Operation. Okay, arithmetic operations, that's what the name of my JFrame is. So I click on finish here. So here math of arithmetic operations has come here. Now I'm going to I have the frame here. Now I want to give a color to this frame. To give a color to this frame, we need to use something called panel here. So if you go here, you will find there is a panel here. Drag this panel and fill it on the frame here. So this frame is now, I have placed a panel on top of my frame. Now I go to right click, go to properties, and I can change the background color here. So change the background color to whatever color that you prefer. So I would like to have a light orange color here, and then I click on OK here. Now I also want to give a border to it, so change the border, take a line border and give a thickness to 3. A thick border will come here. So now I have my panel ready. Now what I want to do is I want to insert a label box to display what is this frame all about. So right click, edit text, and type here math operations. That's the label that I have given for this frame, and I also want to increase the font size, all that. So right click on this, go to properties, and you can change the font here. The home of I'll make it 18, make it bold, and click on OK here. If you want, you can increase the size to 24. Click on OK here. Math operations, that's my label box. Now what I want is I want to have a label box here. I drag another label box here and place it over here, and I'm going to edit text. I will call it as first number, or enter a number. Okay, this is the first number. That's my label. Now I will change the properties of this. I'll make it bold and make it 14 size. That's fine. And this is okay, done. Okay, that's my first label box. Now I'm going to right click and duplicate this so that I can have for the second number also. So double click here and change it to enter the second number. So those two are my label box. Now I also need one more box for my I need one more label for displaying the answer. So what I will do is I am going to duplicate this and I would call this label answer. Okay, 3 label box are done. Now I need to have now I'm going to have the text box here, that is called the text field. So I'm going to drag this text field and I'm going to place it over here. This is where the user is going to enter the value in this box. So I will right click and I will clear the text. I don't want anything there, and I'm going to duplicate this. Right click, duplicate, and I have another box over here for my second number. Then I'm going to take another label box over here where is another label box over here to display the answer, and I'm going to right click, go to properties, and I want to give a border to this so that I'll be able to see. Okay, so I'm going to first make it bold, 14 bold, click on OK, and I also want to add a border to it, border, line border. I want to make the thickness to be 3. Okay, close. So I don't need any text here because the answer should appear here. So edit text and press the delete button, everything is gone. So now what I will do is increase the size of this box. So I have 2 text box to enter the number, and I have this label box to display the answer. You could also use a text box here instead of a label box, that's fine, but I have used a label box over here. Now what I want to have 3 buttons here, one for adding, one for multiplying, and the other one for exiting the application program. So I'm going to add 3 buttons here. So button 1, I'm going to right click and edit text and call it add. I want to change the font color, everything again, edit text. I want to go to the properties, change the font size, make it bold, 14, that's the standard size that I have, and I'm going to right click and duplicate this now, and I have one more over here, and I will call it multiply, edit text and call it multiply. Then again I'm going to have another duplicate of this, and I'm going to call this one exit, right click, type exit here. I hope you're following what I'm doing so far. So I have 3 buttons. And now the design is done. Now what I have to do is I have to give variable names to these things that I'm using here. So right click on the text box one here, and I want you to change the variable name. Give a variable name as txt underscore num1. txt to say that's a text field, num1 is the number that I'm receiving from the user. So click OK here. The same thing goes for the second one. Here you are going to say txt underscore num2. This is what the variable name that I would like to give for my text box. Now this answer box, I would like to change the variable name as lbl for label underscore answer. This is the name I would like to give for this variable. Okay, for this one I would like to change the variable name to btn for button underscore add. Okay, this is the variable name. For multiply, change the variable name btn underscore multiply. Okay, and for exit, I will right click, change the variable name to btn underscore exit. So I have all the buttons, I have all the variables set. Now when now if I run this program, go to the source here, right click and say run this program. As of now, nothing much happens here. It's just displayed my screen in the top left corner here. It is asking me to enter a number. I enter a number, I enter another number, then I add, nothing happens because there is no code attached to it. Exit, nothing happens. Multiply, nothing happens because we have to write code for these 3 buttons here. So, and also I want this screen to appear in the center of the screen. For that, what I do is I go to the design. When you click on the JFrame here, in the navigation bar here, you have JFrame, right click, go to the properties, and you are going to say code generate center. So when you click on generate center, that means when you run this program again, you will find that your application window opens in the center of the screen. So here I have done it. Now what I want to do is I want to go to the design again, double click on this exit button, and here you are going to write, see here, exit button exit, action performed. So what is the action that it has to perform when this button is clicked? So what is the thing that it has to do? It has to exit the application. To exit the application, the code is type system.exit, open brackets and put 0 as the value here, close brackets and semicolon. That's all you need to do. So exit is a built-in program code, it's a method that is called here to exit the current application window, and that is 0. So now when I run, right click and run this program, you can see if the exit button works or not. So I click on exit, application closes. So exit button is done. Now I go back to the design again, and now I have to write a code for my add button. So if you see here, this is a text box which is accepting the first number, this is the text box which is accepting the second number, and the number that is pressed here, number that is pressed here are going to be taken as text field because it is text. It is taken as text, but we need to convert that into an integer and use in our math operation. So to do that, what I do is I double click on the add button here. It takes me to the add button action performed. So when the button is pressed, what exactly it has to do? First, I need a variable which will store the first number that is entered. So I say int a is equal to, where is it being entered? It is entered in a text box. But text box, we have to say txt underscore num1 dot get text is the method that is called here to get the value that is typed here. But right now if you see, text underscore num dot get text is getting it in the form of a text, but here you are asking it to store it in integer a. So that is not possible. So we need to convert this into integer dot parse int is a method that will convert this into an integer value. So though it is coming in a text box, it is converted into integer using a parse int which belongs to integer class, and we are storing it in integer a here. So now we have taken care of converting the data type from text to integer. I'm going to copy this and paste it over here, and here I'm going to say int b is equal to integer dot parse int text underscore num2, because the second field name I named it as num2. So a and b are received from the text boxes. Now I need a variable to add the two numbers and store it. So int c is equal to a plus b. Now what happens here? We have to display the answer here in this label box here. So this label box is again a text format. We need to convert C. If we have to display C in the label box, we need to convert this C into string. So what we do is, you could say lbl dot answer is the name of my variable dot set text. We are displaying it. For displaying we say set. For receiving we say get text. For displaying it we call it set text. Set text to what? It is a integer. When you put integer with a string, it will automatically get converted into a string data type. So when you concatenate, if this doesn't work, lbl dot enter lbl underscore answer dot set text c plus open close quotations here. If you do that, it will convert this c also into string, because when integer is concatenated with string, automatically it will be displayed as string. So let us go to my design here and let us run this program and see whether it performs. So I will say 25 plus 25 add 50. It is given me, and that is done. Exits the application. Either you could do that, or you could also convert C into an integer using this particular code here. Set text integer dot to string. Integer dot to string takes one argument, which is one variable, that is C. So whatever is being entered in C, that has to be converted into string. So from integer we convert it to string. This is another method of displaying of converting integer into string. So let us see how it works. Right click, run this program. Either you could use the previous method that I've mentioned before, or you can use this method 25 plus 2 add 27, and that is done. Now if I want to clear the values that are entered in these text boxes, then what I have to do is I have to go to the design view, and I need another button over here, and I would like to duplicate this exit button and place it over here, and I want to rename it as clear. So what this clear button will do is, whatever the numbers that are entered, it will clear the field for us to do the next operation. So double click on this, and when you go to this button action, here what are we supposed to do? We have to clear the text txt underscore num1 dot set x to null. That's all. So that is one thing. Next, the next field also has to be set to null. So control C, control V, and num2. My text underscore num2 set text to null again. Then my label box also, I want it to be lbl underscore answer dot set text to null. So all three have been set to null. Now let's run this program to see whether the clear button works or not. So here I say 25 plus 2 add 27, clear, all three are set to null. Okay, now exit button also exit. Now only thing that's left is our multiply button. Multiply you can do very easily, because double click on this, you can copy this method here which we have done here. The same thing you can copy it, control C, and go to multiply button here. You can paste it here, and instead of a plus b, you are going to say a multiply c, and same thing applies here. So let's run this design. Let's run. Now you may ask, why am I using integer a b here again? Integer a b can be used here again because integer a b, when you see this method here, this method, the scope of this method ends over here. So integer ABC will lose its scope as soon as this method is finished. So now we are pressing a different button here, so you can use the same variable name in another method. This method is called button multiply action performed. This method is called button add action performed. So there are two different methods, so I can repeat the same variable in a different method. So it will, whatever was declared here will get flushed out, and here it is going to declare afresh. So that is why we can use the same variable name in a different method. This is a totally different variable that is being initialized here. Okay, so now I run this program. So I'm going to say 35 plus 35 add 70, clear the value. Then 33 times 2 multiply is 66, clear the value, exit the application. So with that we have completed one simple application program where you can add two numbers or multiply two numbers. You can clear the text fields, you can add an exit button to exit the application program. So you can add more math operations by adding more number of buttons and giving the code to each and every button. So that's how it is. I hope you understood. Thanks for watching.